Hey, what's going on, guys? Here with Dylan at Galaxy Games, and today he's going to be profiling his Burning Abyss post Breakers of Shadow. Take it away.
All right.
What's up, Spencer?
All right, here we go. First things first, one graph because he's limited, sadly. It doesn't kill the deck. Him being limited to 1 plus 2 seer. Him at 1 and him at 2. It doesn't destroy the deck completely. It just takes down the consistency a good bit.
Yeah.
And which hurts a little bit, but not too bad. And as you can see, Graph's a beautiful super.
Yep.
Yashback super. 3 Scarm because he's your searcher.
Yep.
And of course, 3 supers. 1 Barbar because he helps push for game.
Yep.
He's like your Burning Abyss cowboy.
Yep.
Kagna for a deck pin, like sending good and evil to the graveyard, or Fire Lake because I don't want to draw into a Fire Lake or good and evil.
Yep. Or you want to recycle them off of Dante.
Yeah, definitely. Libic for summoning something from hand, so I don't have to worry about my guys dying if I have a non-BA monster on the field. 1 Farfa, I'll get over big things. And Rubik for a substitute XZ or for going into virtual. And sadly, 1 tour guide. I'm trying to get an ulti, but don't have it yet.
Yep.
And here's the star monster of the main deck: 3 Fiendish Rhino Warriors. They don't let my my monsters die for having a non-BA monster on the field, and he's like another Foolish Burial. Gotta love Fiendish Rhino Warrior.
Yep.
Now on to spells. 2 Twin Twister. Discard a card, tip plus, and destroying 2 Trapper spell cards. So it's kind of like hitting 2, or you could say 3 birds with 1 stone.
Yep.
And Monster Reincarnation, he's discarding a BA card will help me plus I can get something like Tour Guide back, which helps a whole lot. And I'm surprised, knowing you, Smallville, you haven't pointed out, it's the beautiful ulti.
It is very beautiful.
Good and evil, so I can search for BA monsters, plus discard them, and a Foolish Burial. That is it for spells. Now on to traps. 2 anti-spell fragrances, of course, because a lot of pendulums now these days, and just a lot of things that use spells in general. So anti-spell fragrance is a really good tech nowadays.
Yep.
Don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
2 people died in a car wreck on Johnstown.
2 time space trap holes, of course, for things that can't be destroyed, like Magic Specters and other things that can't be targeted. Most things plus off of being destroyed.
Yep.
Other things can't be destroyed. This just puts them back in the deck.
Yeah, good against Cosmo, good against Pepe, any pendulum deck really.
Or Magic Specters.
Yep.
But only downside is it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt things that are summoned from the things like graveyard. It's just from the extra deck.
Yeah, and it does cost you a bit of life sometimes if they pendulum summon a lot.
Yeah, and if you're not careful, you can actually kill yourself with this.
Yeah.
But all around, very good card. 2 Quaking Mirror Force, flips the monsters face down. A lot of things can't be targeted this format, a lot of things can't be destroyed, but if they're face down, I can do those things.
Yeah, and you like that better than Storming right now?
I don't have Stormings right now, but this is honestly a cheaper alternative, and it's got upsides that Storming doesn't have.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'll try to find Storming sometime in the future, but for now, I believe that this is good enough, because this is still a pretty good card in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
2 Ultimate Providence. It's like a divine wrath that can destroy anything, so long as it's the same type of card that you're negating. And with discarding, that is very good in Burning Abyss. So it's like a more versatile divine wrath, and
yeah, because as I told you earlier, if you have good and evil in your hand, you can discard good and evil to negate a spell, potentially.
Yeah.
You can negate a pendulum, actually.
Yeah, I can negate a pendulum, exactly. It is honestly a very, very good card.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that, knowing how Konami is, that they would make something this broken.
Yeah, especially with the way that people are talking about how it's ruled with Ariadne's pendulum effect. Because with Ariadne, for counter traps, you don't have to pay life point cost or discard for counter traps. And so far, a lot of people are saying the ruling on it is you just get a negation for free without discarding, which, if that holds true, makes this card very busted with Ariadne.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very, very busted.
Very busted.
Yeah.
And it's also good in decks like this.
That
Of
just
course,
makes it a
burning
free
this.
solemn judgment, really.
Yeah. 2 Horn of Heaven to negate summonings. Like, sure, it's only inherit summons, but I can negate a Farm Girl or whatever, or
Contribute off one of your BAs or your Dante and get their effects off too.
get their effects. And also, if they're trying to go into a big extra deck monster, this becomes in real handy.
Yeah.
2 Traveler to resurrect BA monsters that are sent to the graveyard during the turn that they're sent. I'm thinking about bumping this up to 3. I'm just not sure yet. I think it can get kind of clunky because of all the back row hate I already have.
Oh yeah.
Here for 1-ofs, Fiend Griefing. Cut it down to 1 because between things like Pendulums and Cosmos, I'm not going to have a lot of
Targets and
targets and
that you
grave.
really want to hit.
Targets and grave. So it's still a very good card, but it's just not good enough to be more than 1 nowadays. Same here, Fire Lake, since non-targeting's a big thing. It'll let me destroy Pendulum Scales, but still, no more than 1. It's still a very good card, though. Jar of Avarice for recycling. This is the one thing I hate milling more than anything.
Yeah.
Only thing I don't like about Jar of Avarice is that it can't recycle another Jar of Avarice.
That would be crazy.
That would make it busted.
Yeah.
Painful Escape, because if I sack a BA monster, I can get back, for instance, my Tour Guide.
Yep.
Because all my BAs and Tour Guide are both level 3 Dark Fiends.
Trigger BA effects again.
Definitely. I got so many things in here that can help. Plus, Torrential Tribute. I'm honestly hurting my opponent more than myself if I use this.
Yeah.
Because Mass Destruction, everybody knows Mass Destruction is not good against Burning Abyss.
Yep.
And Skill Drain, of course, because I can actually run this, because most of my effects are cost, and most of them come out of Grave or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
only thing it really conflicts with in the main is Phoenix Rhino and Tour Guide, but I mean, you can play around it. Dante still gets its mill as a cost.
Yeah.
It's still a 2,500 booty that can recycle cards when it goes to Grave.
And I can't use Virgil's effect either.
Yeah, but it's still a 2,500 beater.
Still 2,500 beater, and the best combination with this card is without a doubt Acid Golem.
Definitely.
Solemn Warning, staple.
Yep.
And Vanity's Emptiness, beautiful secret.
Yep.
That's it for main deck.
40 cards?
40 cards.
All right.
Now on for extra deck. Of course, 3 Dante.
Yep.
Pretty self-explanatory. Because the way things are, this format, as I mentioned, non-targeting, only 1 Virgil.
Yep.
3 Downerd Magicians. And yes, I've heard you ask this before. I have gone into 3 Downerd Magicians before.
Yep.
Acid Golem, of course, best combination with Skill Drain. I'm thinking about throwing Alec into the main board, because if I detach Alec, if, say, Skill Drain's destroyed or whatever, I can negate his effects. That prevents no special summoning, and I can go into Downerd Magician to save myself.
Yep.
Leviathan Dragon, because it can go into a pretty big beat stick. The only downside is it doesn't have materials, it can't attack directly.
Yep.
Nightmare Shark for direct attacks, and I'm thinking about bumping this up to 2, to be honest with you.
Yeah, really good in combination with Barbar, because that's a 2,900 play that you can potentially have there. 2,900 damage.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I kind of feel sorry for BA players who don't main Barbar, because some people actually don't.
You should.
Definitely Leviair, so I can loop with Barbar. Like, say if I banish Seer, I can detach material, bring back Seer. Seer dies, bring back Barbar, so I can potentially use Barbar 2 or 3 times with this card.
Yep.
1 Mech Whipped, because being able to save yourself from damage and from being from certain things from being destroyed. If you don't want something to be destroyed, he's your guy.
Yep.
1 Zen Mains for destroying something and
Protecting yourself.
protecting myself. Well, yeah, I know the upside, 2,100 booty.
Yep.
Fortune Tune for recycling level 3s, gaining life points, and just being all around annoying.
Yep.
And Utopic Future.
Oh, yeah.
In battle, stealing monsters, everybody hates that, right?
Yeah. Cosmos have a tough time getting over it, from what I hear from Robbie and Jack from their regional experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was beating a Cosmo player one time, but I was out of materials and they were genking me. So
Yeah.
that was the only thing that stopped him. That's it for extra board. I'm looking for a Ghost Trick Alucard, but I don't have it yet. But I'll get it when I get it. Now for sideboard, 2 Majesty's Fiends, because good for pendulums like Pepe and Cosmos. this wrecked Magic Specters when I played against them.
Yeah.
This wrecks a lot of things nowadays. One Regeki, and 2 Dark Hole, because as you can see with all the hate and everything that I have in my main deck, it makes it so I don't have to run these things in the main. Some people think I should main these things, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary, considering the fact that Mass Destruction isn't that good this format. 2 XYZ Encores, because they are an out to
Infinity?
Cyber Dragon Infinity, like going to Nova, and it sends it back to the deck. Or I can do this with Ptolemaeus. So you could say they'd just be wasting their time if I play this card.
Yep.
And I'm actually looking to cut these for Magical Spring, because Magical Spring, I believe, has more upsides, but this is still a pretty good card against Cyber Dragon Infinity and other problematic XE monsters.
Yep.
Spare another anti-spell fragrance against pesky pendulums like Magic Specters or whatever.
Yep.
3 Imperial Iron Walls for Cosmos, of course, because Cosmos are pretty much my worst matchup nowadays. 2 Grand Horn for Pendulums. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them in there or not. And finally 2 Mistake, because a lot of things search nowadays.
Yep.
That's everything.
All right. Any last words on the deck and how you think it'll perform this format with the release of BOSH?
I believe that it will perform better now with the release of BOSH, considering everything that's been released. And to be honest, with the new things that I have in this deck, I think I may actually have a better matchup against Cosmos than I thought I would.
Yep.
But Cosmos are just all around annoying. And to be honest, I don't get the hype of Pepe, because I've only played against Pepe a handful of times, but I've won every single time with all the stuff I've had in here.
I mean, the biggest thing is, now they have a really good, strong opening play. They can go Infinity plus Rafflesia. They can use Ariadne to just, set a bunch of counter traps with Strike and Warning, and just really be set up for a really strong stun play.
I hate Solemn Strike.
Yeah,
that card is so annoying.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's where the real power comes from. They can still go into Nat Beast, which is still a pretty good card, and Wavering Eyes is good, obviously. But
Nat Beast doesn't hurt me too much because I don't run very many spells.
No, and you run anti-spell for that kind of reason, the same kind of reason as Nat Beast. All right, Dylan, so thank you for the deck profile. Remember, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.